Alright, we are back. This time we are going to journey into King's Quest II. King's Quest II is called Romancing the Throne. It is about Sir Graham, who is now the King of Daventry. He is loved by his people, but there is something that he's missing, and that's companionship. And also to provide an heir for the throne, which seems kind of selfish. But whatever. So he's been looking for the right chick and needs to go on a quest, right? So he looks into the magic mirror and what do we see? Da-da-da-da. He sees a vision of a quartz tower. To reach it, he must pass through the magic door in a nearby land. The scene then changes to show a beautiful girl locked within the tower. Graham knows what he must do, which is apparently sit down, put his little adventure cap on. And so begins King's Quest II, with Graham just wandering off. What I never really understood is he sets off to find this land, to find this lady, and it just starts off on a beach. And I'm going to go ahead and save it here, because in King's Quest, anything could go wrong. But it just starts on this beach, and it's apparently not Daventry, because as you go through it, you'll see people who say, I've heard of you, and you would think if this was Daventry, they would probably know you because you're their king. Alright, so first let's head over here. Just like the rest of the King's Quest games, there's a lot of like the fairy tale lore. So you can get a clue here that says it's grandmother's house. So you can probably guess that this is going to be like the Red Riding Hood. And because there's a basket in the mailbox, because that happens all the time. So I know what's sometimes can be in this house, and that is the big bad wolf. So I'm going to save and open the door. And oh dear, look, it's the wolf, and he jumps out. So that's not a good idea. Let's see. So we have the basket. So Little Red Riding Hood is around here somewhere. Can't remember exactly where she quote unquote spawns, but I know it's somewhere around my grandmother's house. So right now I'm just gonna wander a bit, see if I can remember where she's at. So pardon me while I just walk around. And because that's not that way, because that was the witch's cave, which we'll go to later. I have no idea why the witch lives so close to Grandma. But here we have this big door in a tree. So let's save. Tree door. Not to be confused with Hodor. So something that King's Quest is notorious for is these stairs, including elevators. I survived that one, so let's go see what's over here. We have a nice little kettle going, some hats on the table, and a chest. Just like any Sierra game, if it's not nailed down, take it. Apparently I got too close to the fire. And I just took the soup. That's the thing, I just took this soup, and I don't even know where I'm storing it, right? It was a hot, boiling pot of soup, and I apparently just put it in my pocket. So let's look in the chest. Earrings. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the earrings. I don't know who any of this belongs to. I think it's that crazy dwarf or gnome. But we're just going to take it anyway. I don't know why I'm not taking the cool snazzy hat on the table. And up the ladder. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Oh. And that didn't end well. This is what I mean by the stairs in King's Quest are a curse. If you watched my King's Quest 1 playthrough, you know how much fun I had on the beanstalk, where I fell off probably over 60 times, and I fast forwarded it, so kind of tried to make it funny. So let's be a little more cautious. Let's take a look. Look, it's the thieving dwarf, so I was right. And it kind of looks like he has a little Christmas hat, which is just in time because it's 12:13. It's almost Christmas time, so let me take this steaming hot bowl of soup and put it back in my pocket. Open the chest. Get the earrings. Yep, it's still there. Alright, so now I'm back where I was a moment ago, before my plummeting death from the stairs. And I'm just gonna be more cautious as I traverse this ladder. You would think that King Graham would know just to climb the ladder safely and not fall off. Not a very good king if you don't know how to climb the ladder. Alright, so let's go. Okay, we're back by Grandma's house. Let's go see if Grandma's home. Just in case, gonna save. Open the door. Hey, look, it's not a wolf this time. Grandma looks pale and weak. Let's give the soup to Grandma. You feed the hot chicken soup to the ailing Grandma. I feel much better, she says. She has something under the bed. It sounds kind of dirty. So she has a ruby ring and a black cloak. Now I remember what this leads to, and you've got to wonder why she has it. That ring and that cloak belong to, we'll just call him Dracula. It's a vampire. Why does she have it? Was she messing around with Dracula? Was she sleeping? Oh, hey, wait a minute. I believe this is where Little Red Riding Hood shows up. I can't remember if you have to load in and out of the screen to make her show up, if she's not already there, or if she just randomly shows up. So give me a second. We'll see. Wait. Pace back and forth. This is one of the problems with King's Quest, is there were a lot of random or chance encounters. For example, Little Red Riding Hood, who does not want to show up. The other one, which was even a greater pain, was the Eagle in King's Quest 3. I just got finished playing King's Quest 3, and let me tell you, I waited over 20 minutes. Over 20 minutes for that eagle to drop the feather. I saw him plenty of times, but he just never dropped the feather. It's really annoying. So this is something where you could be playing King's Quest, and if you didn't know that you had to find Red Riding Hood, and she only appears in one screen, that you could easily get frustrated because you wouldn't know what to do next. Because it's such a random chance encounter. And as you can see, I've walked back and forth off that screen several times, and she's not showing up. So I'm pretty sure this is the screen, so I'm just going to keep fiddling around until she decides to show up. So I'll just walk over here, go one screen over. This is the chapel. Oh, a beautiful fairy floats down. She is actually pretty important because there's a couple of things in this game that will attempt to kill you, and her quote-unquote spell or blessing will actually drive them away. So it's kind of nice to have that. Well, we might as well throw in the cloak, even though you don't see it, which is odd. Kind of like that bowl of soup I just put in my pocket from the dwarf. I like that I try to kneel and it says not now, but if I pray, I kneel. Seems like he would just let me kneel and then just pray. Like you get points that way. Alright, well, let's talk to this monk. Gives me a silver cross. So this is all clearly leading up to Dracula. Since I'm wearing the cloak and the ring, let's slap on the cross. Thank you, sir. It's probably the only time you actually see an actual religious symbol is the cross for the Christian cross. Because nowhere else do you see that in King's Quest. Like, it's just not there. So it's interesting that they do the cross. I understand. Ooh, look who it is, and she does just randomly appear. All right, so let's talk to her. Okay. Okay, now she's too far away. Clearly, you would think that if I'm talking to the girl, she would just stop and listen. Gratefully, Little Red Riding Hood takes the basket, and now she's much happier and skipping around. Alright. So let's press on. King Graham. What shall we steal that's not nailed down? Alright. Anytime you see a hole, whether it's in a rock, a tree, anything, just assume, like this, there's a brooch hidden in this rock. Why? Who knows? Like, who put it there? But you can assume, kind of like anything that's not nailed down in King's Quest, you just take it. So if there's a hole, rest assured there's something in there that you need and you should take. I believe there's a couple more situations where there's a hole in this game, and you have to find the random item that is in there. Alright, hold on. So the one thing I remember about this bridge is you can only cross it so many times before the bridge actually collapses. So what I'm going to do here is save. And it's... thought it was here, and it's probably one screen up. Yeah, there it is. Well, that's another way that King's Quest 2 is kind of deceptive, because that bridge, if you didn't know it, and you were playing this game and crossed the bridge too many times, like I said, that bridge, if I remember correctly, collapses. And that's a dead end. Like, if you've gotten all these things and crossed the bridge too many times and it collapses, you're going to have to restore. So now I've read the inscription to the door. Now we're just going to see how we can get past it. Let's cross this bridge. Let's see, every time you cross it, you get a point. My score went from 40 to 41. So it's kind of deceptive. Every time you cross it, oh, I get another point. And here's another case where you can clearly see that there's a hole in that tree. And so we need to look in it, get something in there. Okay. There's clearly a hole in that tree. There's something we have to do here. Okay, not right now. I can't do that. There's got to be some way to get into that tree. I'll come back to it. And there's that thieving dwarf. Which is ironic. I stole from the dwarf, but I'm afraid that he's going to steal back from me. And see, we have a split log here, so there's probably something in the split log. Nothing in there, but let's follow it to this side. A flashing necklace. So like I said, if there's a chance that there's a hole, there's probably something in there to take. So in this case, we found a brooch earlier in the rock. Now we find a necklace in this tree. And I'm certain there's something to that other tree with the rocks in front of it that has a hole.